It's a wonderful job. Thank you so much for sharing your dance with us. What a beautiful performance. Thank you. Right on. Give them a round of applause. Perfect way to start. And with that, we will segue to the Honorable Wayne Wasco, Minister of Education and Early Childhood Learning, to come and share the special announcement for today.
Oh, dobre večer, everyone. Good evening, and it is such a pleasure to be here in the great community of Dauphin. I want to thank Mr. Campbell for the opening prayer, and of course Minister Chartrand for helping us set all this wonderful thing up in quick order as well. Joan, thank you for making the drive out to Dauphin and sharing in this great announcement. I'd also like to thank my good friend and colleague Brad Mikuleski, who's the MLA for Dauphin right here in this great community, the city of Dauphin, and I see some of my longtime friends and some counselors here in Dauphin as well. So thank you everyone for joining us this early evening. So on behalf of Heather Stephenson, our Premier, and my other colleagues at the Manitoba Legislature, I am more than honored to be here today with all of you. I would like to begin by acknowledging that in Manitoba, as the Education and Early Childhood Learning Minister, I always acknowledge the fact that I represent everyone in Manitoba, from corner to corner to corner to corner. And so Manitoba is on treaties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10 lands. Home and are the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe Cree, Dakota, Dene, and Inuit peoples, and of course, the homeland of the Red River Métis. I am pleased to stand before you to announce an important partnership and funding commitment that will have a significant impact on childcare and early learning and childcare in our great province of ours. Through this initiative, our government is partnering with the Manitoba Métis Federation in supporting 25 Ukrainian refugees in training to become early childhood educators. This is something that has come about with a few conversations, of course, with Joan and the Ukrainian Congress, but then also my good friend, Minister Chartrand as well. Our government is contributing $1 million to this initiative, which is supported by the Canada-wide Canada-Manitoba agreement, which we just recently signed with Minister Gould before she was shuffled out, and now Minister Suds as well. I had a great conversation with her, and so that growing collaboration and partnership between the federal government and our government is obviously going to continue. This training is going to be conducted within the Louis Riel Vocational College with practical placements at Manitoba Métis Federation Early Learning Childcare Centers. The candidates will receive hands-on experience in a nurturing environment to enhance learning and growth. This initiative includes comprehensive support for the 25 participants involved, including supports for living expenses, childcare needs, and English language training. Upon successful completion of the program, the Manitoba Métis Federation has committed to offering employment opportunities to these skilled individuals within their early learning and childcare centers. The Manitoba government is committed to our goal of creating 23,000 new spaces by 2026, and we are at about 12,000 either open spaces or it's on their way already to have completed almost 50% earlier than originally promised. In the last 2 years, we have opened more than 4,800 affordable and high-quality childcare spaces across Manitoba, and as I mentioned, with many thousands more on their way. But new spaces and new facilities are not possible without the care and professional staff to oversee them. Do we have some early childhood educators in the room? Those of you that are early childhood educators, can you stand up and let's give them a great big round of applause. Okay, I saw more hands than just one. So thank you all for doing what you're doing. We know that Spaces isn't just where it's at. We have to have the balanced approach. We can build buildings, we can have spaces, but we want to make sure that the childcare sector themselves, I know from many conversations that I've had in the last year and a half since becoming early childhood education minister, that the sector and the professionals within had been feeling undervalued and underappreciated for well over 20 years. And so we're making sure that with partnerships, much like what we're having today as well with the Red River Métis, that we're making sure that we're also increasing wages to help retain. We are also making sure that we're putting in money, $5,000 per student per year of education, to make sure that we're recruiting and enticing more individuals into this incredible profession. So I want to thank you, Minister of Early Learning and Childcare, Francis Chartrand, for the invitation to this exciting announcement and for your partnership on this very important file. Your dedication to making a real difference in the lives of our citizens is commendable, and we are privileged to work hand in hand with you. Today's announcement is a testament to our shared commitment to fostering a vibrant and inclusive community, and by working together, we can create a brighter future for all. Thank you, and Yakiu, and thank you very much for everyone attending. And this is another important step in Manitoba's future. And of course, working with early childhood educators and working with our students, they are our future. And again, Manitoba works because childcare works. Thank you everybody very much for attending tonight, and I'll turn it back over to Jackie. Oh, I guess I should do this. So if I can ask Minister Chartrand to come up. And she says, is this a check? Well, it's sort of, almost.
So, as customary with the Métis culture, we have this beautiful gift that we have for Ministry of Wasco. This is some of the programs and some of the tools that we have in each of our centers. We have the Métis puzzle, talks about the history of who the Métis people are. So what we did was during COVID, when the local economy we thought was dying, we got the local artisans, Métis artisans, that made all of our product. And so this is the supplies we buy, and make sure that every center across Manitoba will have a package on showing who the Métis people are. And I want to present this to Minister Wasco today so he could share with his staff and some of his friends that he has at the legislature. Thank you very much. Yeah. That cost $1 million.
I just want to say thank you, Francis, and the Red River Métis and everybody involved, staff, for the incredible partnership that we are having. And I am going to display this proudly in my office, but I'm not going to guarantee that I'm not going to play with the teddy bears and the dolls, and maybe make the puzzle.
Thank you. And now I'd like to call City Councillor Steve Sobering to share some words.
Thank you, everyone. I don't have any checks to hand out, but if anyone brought any extras, I'll gladly receive them. In all seriousness, I just want to thank everyone for allowing me to be part of this announcement. I just wanted to bring greetings on behalf of the Mayor, David Boziak, who is unable to be here, and the City of Dauphin and Council. This is, I had some words of wisdom, not my own, but it was basically about prosperity and community. And it kind of went like this. If you want to have prosperity in your community, in the short term, you can invest in crops, and they'll produce every year. If you have a little bit more patience, you can invest in trees and lumber, and that'll grow a little bit more prosperity. But if you truly want prosperity in the long term, you invest in people. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here today. and it's why I'm so excited to be here. I think that not just the investment we have with the schools and the teaching, but also we see the commitment from the province. We see the Ukrainian Congress here. We see the Northwest Métis Council, and I could be at these things all summer long. I love to see these great partnerships come together. I know that they produce a real solid outcome for the city of Dauphin and the surrounding communities, and I know that I called her Vice President Chartrand. I guess you have a ministerial title now. But I know she does a fantastic work, not just in the city of Dauphin and surrounding, but she has a larger region that also benefits from her guidance and leadership and that of her organization. So I just want to congratulate the Northwest Métis Council on this accomplishment. I'd like to also thank the Minister Wasco to bring the funds forward to make these things happen. And I think that I wish all the success to the newcomers that are going to be trained as new Canadians coming here and taking on the task of looking after the safety and health and well-being of our children. So thank you very much, and thank you for letting me be part of it.
We're going to have you just come back really quickly, and we're just going to present you with a thank you. We love gifts. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. So next to bring greetings, I'd like to invite Ernest Stursky, RM of Dauphin, to come forward.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, respected elders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, and ministers that are here from the government. Welcome to Dauphin. We actually do exist out here in Dauphin. It's a great, when I heard this announcement, my heart skipped a beat because my parents emigrated from Ukraine in 1928 and 29, and I don't think any of us can understand the hardship that's happening in Ukraine today. So this kind of partnership just shows to me that we're not isolated. We're all in this together. We're companions. Our cultures may be different, but the reality is we all live on the same planet. So I'd like to thank and congratulate the Manitoba Métis Federation for taking this initiative. I'd like to thank the government for sponsoring it. And I know it's going to be a great benefit, not just for those Ukrainians that are going to be trained over here, but it's going to be a great benefit for the kids that are going to get those trained people. So thank you once again. And by the way, the reason I didn't dress up like the minister did, because I was combining all day today. And it was hot, so I decided to cool down. But once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here on behalf of the citizens of the Arm of Dauphin, the councils and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and bring greetings. And thank you once again for your initiative.
And on behalf of the MMF, a little gift to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, over the last little bit, I've had the opportunity to connect with the team, with the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, and it's been an absolute privilege of mine to be able to be welcomed into their community and be able to walk alongside of them. And just last week, we had the opportunity, we were invited in for a town hall where we got to meet the most beautiful people. And they welcomed us, and they listened, and we shared, and then afterwards, they came in and just connected with us a little bit longer, and that was very special. And so it's I'm very excited to welcome President of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, let me get it out, Joanne, forward to bring some greetings on behalf of her group.
Dobrý den. Manitoba Minister of Education and Early Childhood Education, Wayne Iwashko, vitaємо вас. President Chartrand of the Manitoba Métis Federation, I know you're in Winnipeg. We're welcoming you like you are here. The Vice President of the Northwest Region, Minister Francis Chartrand, She's also the Minister of Early Learning, Childhood Education, Child Care, and Health. Three very important areas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be here. I am honored and genuinely excited to be here this evening on behalf of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Manitoba Provincial Council, here in the Ukrainian capital, Dauphin, Manitoba. Unbelievably, the Russian war in Ukraine is now entering its 18th long month. We have all seen and commiserated with the incredible scenes of tragic devastation, the purposeful targeting of hospitals, train stations, and residential buildings, the massacre of innocent civilians, including women and children, an entire annihilation of dams and entire cities. This war has created the largest displacement of people both nationally and internationally since World War II. Yet, there's also good to be found in the world. Our own province of Manitoba has now received almost 25,000 Ukrainians under the Federal Canada-Ukraine Authorization for Emergency Travel Program, and Canada in total has now accepted 250,000. I want to share in passing, I got a call from the immigration office in Saskatchewan, and they wanted to know what our secret was. I said, what kind of secret? I says, you want to know the recipe? And they said, we want to know why so many people are coming to Manitoba. So I then said, well, how many have come to Saskatchewan? 4,500. Quite a difference. I think it's the water in Manitoba. Other countries, not-for-profit organizations, businesses, and individuals have responded to this crisis and are doing their utmost to aid Ukraine. We are truly grateful for all that Manitobans are doing to help us to provide assistance to the women, children, and families displaced by the war in Ukraine and seeking a safe haven here in friendly Manitoba. Manitobans have been truly demonstrated that Ukraine does not stand alone, and that decency and human kindness have no borders. Over the more than 130 years of Ukrainian settlement in Manitoba, a mutual understanding, deep respect, close relationship, and indeed friendship has developed between the Manitoba Métis and the Ukrainian community. It is a true marriage. I just want to say also, the Métis were the first to come through with $100,000 to the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, which helps directly in Ukraine. All this money is taken over to Ukraine for humanitarian aid. None of it is used in Canada. As well, they flew the first Ukrainian flags on their private buildings. I was on top of the Bank of Montreal with President Chartrand. I thought the wind was going to blow me over, and there we did. We put up the Ukrainian flag, and then we went to the other building. It was very touching. In early June, the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Manitoba Provincial Council, entered into a memorandum of understanding for the recruitment, training, and provision of employment opportunities in daycare facilities for approximately 25 displaced Ukrainians who have made Winnipeg their home. And indeed, today's assistance is overwhelming. I was probably extremely shocked, but I knew that good things would come sooner than later, and they certainly have. Building on the Manitoba Métis Federation initiative, today we welcome yet another significant partner, the province of Manitoba. As we heard, they will provide additional funding to ensure the success of this program and its participants. I want you to know that most of the students are single mothers or single parents here with children. Their fathers are out on the front. These are women and people who need daycare and can't work because they don't have it and they have to exist. So this program is the answer to all their wishes. Minister Ivashko, Mr. President Shortrand, Minister Shortrand, and members of your respective cabinets, we are truly humbled by your extraordinary expression of compassion. You have recognized that training and jobs are essential for Ukrainian newcomers to fully integrate into Canadian society and provide a road to self-sufficiency and economic independence. Your extraordinary gesture of compassion and solidarity are genuinely appreciated and most welcome for all of us here today and for all of those who have arrived to Manitoba. On behalf of the UCC MPC, I humbly thank you. Щиро дякую. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech. Slava Ukraini, Heroyam Slava. Glory to Ukraine, glory to its heroes. My sincerest thanks.
Thank you very much, Joanne. We do have a little thank you for you, but do you want to come up and grab it now? Perfect. There's snacks for the ride home. Yeah, we like snacks. So our next speaker, I know most of you know quite well, and she holds many positions within the MMF and the community at large, including those roles as the Vice President of Northwest, you were right, as well as the Minister of Early Learning and Childcare and the Minister of Health, just to name a few. We can go into all of her volunteer roles as well. But I would like to welcome Minister Francis Chartrand.
Good evening, everyone. It's a true honor to stand here in front of you today. I'll start off by thanking Eldon Campbell for our opening prayer. So I just want to give you a history of our building here today. So this building was owned by the Knights of Columbus. So during COVID-19, everyone had to go through different stages of when are we going to get back to being who we are, where we are, maintaining our buildings, and what we're going to do. So when we first purchased the old school division office, Knights of Columbus used to be across the street from us. So they were our true partners, and every time we had meetings or every time we needed a hall, we knew we could count on them. So when they were struggling and they were having a hard time when they were going to sell their building, they contacted us. They didn't go through a real estate agent. They didn't go through the city of Dauphin or any lawyers. They had a private meeting with us. So they phoned me and said, "Can we meet with you, Francis?" I said, "Okay, I'll come to a meeting." Then they said, "But we want you to bring President David Chartrand." I said, "So how it's going to work is I want to come meet with you guys first. Right, come up with a plan and we'll see what we could do. So we met with them, and with the handshake, we were able to purchase this building. And part of purchasing the building, we were going to make sure that there was a home for the Ukrainian dancers. We signed a 10-year agreement to make sure that they have a space here and they'll always be practicing and working with us. They are our little partners and our children for the future that will continue, as you see them today, with their culture and their dance, making sure that no one in the province and the city of Dauphin. And then we also have an office for them where they could meet and still come and work with us. So I want to thank the Knights of Columbus for getting us here, and I want to make sure that we still have a firm handshake and we'll still continue working with the Sale Ukrainian dancers. Thank you guys very much. I just wanted to give you a history of why we are here today. So it's very exciting times to be Minister of Early Learning and Childcare. So as Mr. Iwasco said, that he knows that the Manitoba Métis Federation is the leader in developing early learning, childcare programs, services, and supports. When they made the announcements to build childcare centers all across the province of Manitoba, and they were working on it, MMF was already doing it, and we all know that. So when we started building during COVID, we built 5 buildings. We hired 100 staff, and we trained approximately 50 staff that make sure that they come into our centers and they're ready, available to work. So now our partnership is strengthening, and now we're teaching them how it works. He knows. So I think it's very exciting. So right now we have a total of 9 childcare centers right across the province of Manitoba. We have 7 under construction. With that 7 under construction, we partnered with L'Oreal Vocational School. We also partner with ACC, UCN, and Swan Valley School Division. So every year we want to make sure that we continue training and getting ECE workers. So this is a perfect avenue for us to go through by partnering with UCC and making sure that they have a home and we can make sure they can study and work with our children. So we anticipate to employ at least 200 to 300 childcare professions within the next 2 years. So it's exciting times for us. We also want to make sure that the staff that we have working in our office know who the Métis, Red River Métis people are, where we come from. We want to make sure that they know our languages. So that's the same thing with the Ukrainians. So what we wanted to do with our 18-month program, the first 2 months, they're going to learn how to speak English. So sometimes I need to learn how to speak English. But we're going to make sure that we have that 8-week program, and then we're going to have a 6-week program where they learn who the Métis culture and who Canada and who the founder of Manitoba is. Then they'll go into an 18-month program. So it's going to be exciting times, and I'm so happy to be part of it right now, that we live in a multicultural society today. So Manitoba is such a beautiful province, and I'm so proud that L'Oreal was our founder of the province of Manitoba. And look at how successful and how we're growing today. So I'm so proud of that. So when I looked at the press release that was printed out by the province of Manitoba. It said that they announced that they also have a partnership with MCCA, where they're going to start doing inclusion workshops, as well as leadership and governance, training for center directors and board members. We want to jump on that opportunity, and we want to show them how the work we do. We don't want to compete. We want to work together to make sure that we run the same governance, we follow the same legislature, and we make sure that we all want to work together to provide programs and services for 0 to 6, 0 to 12, right at the bottom level before they start their education journey. So I want to make sure the door's open, and then Jackie will contact MCCA to make sure that we're part of it. So it's exciting times, and I know you guys don't want to sit here and listen to politicians all night, and I know that President Chartrand's out there watching us. So I just want to give a shout out to all our early learning and childcare workers that are out there that are battling the field. And a lot of people in history and will tell us that they didn't know how important early learning childcare workers were until COVID-19. Because if you didn't have VC workers, you wouldn't be able to go to work, you wouldn't be able to go to school, you wouldn't be able to open the hospitals, you wouldn't be able to have ambulance drivers all over. So now we know the importance of them. And I'm so happy that the province of Manitoba is recognizing this, and they're lifting their salary scales to make sure they could enhance the finances that they're presently making. So I want to be part of the planning and what we're doing, and want to make sure that it's not a competition, that we work together as one. Exactly. So not only does this announcement meet the needs of the Ukrainians coming to Canada for a new life, it helps address our systematic widespread shortage. So I'm so happy to be from the City of Dauphin. I'm so happy of our partnerships. The City of Dauphin is always there to partnerships, the RM. Every time that the Northwest Métis Council and the Manitoba Métis Federation are going to move forward and build successes, they're always there and they're supporting us 100%. I want you to give them a round of applause, and I want to thank them for always being there. In closing, I want to thank our elders for their wisdom and guidance, our youth for their willingness to learn, and we must always remember our children. They're our leaders for tomorrow, so when you see them up here entertaining, they're proud of who they are, where they come from. We're proud to be Canadians. We're proud to be from the province of Manitoba, and I'm proud to be a Red River Métis standing before you today. Thank you guys very much.
I would like to now invite our musicians forward, and I believe we have some jiggers that are also going to be coming forward as we now enjoy some music, Métis style. So come on forward. Back table as well. I see you all back there. So we have two dancing groups. We have a solo, and then we have a full group here of 4. We're just going to have a couple words from Elder.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce my sister Sharon. She's when we were 13 and I was 13 or 14 and she was 12, I suppose. We played it for our first dance at the old Portia School north of Alonza, and that was this is the first time we got together since. So you'll have to bear with us. Thank you.
Raina, Brinley, Serenity, and Curtis, thank you so much for your dancing. It was beautiful. And now Alexis. Thank you, Alexis, and thank you, Elder, and thank you so much, Sharon. I think you guys came together beautifully after some years apart. So thank you very much for sharing. So in closing, I'd like to call Elder Eldon Campbell back to give us some closing prayers and closing words.
Lord, once again, we thank you for this opportunity to help our early learners, and I pray for them. I pray for the educators and the ones that are working with them. I ask you as we go to leave for our homes that that you guide us safely there, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
So thank you very much. They're going to do a picture to you.
I'm either praying or playing.
Thank you very much. So that closes our celebration this evening. There's going to be snacks at the back, light snacks, beverages. So please stick around, enjoy. And thank you very much for taking your time to be here with us today. Thank you very much for the wonderful news. And just thank you for the community that's been brought together. It's been very special. Thank you. Drive safe. Good evening.